Hello everyone, this is the great Lord and Master, Oseron, the Eternal, or the artist formerly known as the Great Naruto. Okay, I'm just making a video. This should be pretty short, and a lot of it will be repetitive. There might be a couple new things, but I just wanted to get all four of the tree structures in one video. Ideally, I would have put them in order, but I already had these two drawn up, and it takes a while to draw those, to make them look good, so I didn't want to erase it just to move it. So I just put the true tree here, the true tree with the jewel manifest here, and then the jewel of creation more detailed here in its hanged man form. See, the jewel of creation is essentially the hanged man. And I'm going to show you right now a picture of the Hanged Man from the Tabula Monday Tarot deck. Okay, see that? Look at that, that's the Hanged Man upside down on a tree. Okay? And there's a bunch of other symbolism in there, but that's the Hanged Man upside down on a tree. Okay, I mean, fuck, and this is what this is doing right now. That's why I have it upside down, because the other video I made about this, the Holy Trinity, people still didn't understand what the hell was going on. I basically need to make these videos like retard proof for a lot of people, because now I have it in what it's doing. I got it, so here's the jewel. And then when it leans back onto itself, it becomes this, and it fuses into the true tree, and it forms this. And then in the video I just made, I explained how this, the tree of the great Lord here, turns into Yggdrasil. I just made that today, and I drew this up using the same template. And so this is what we're going on here. And I added a couple of details. I showed in the red, because this shows how the action pathways are red for masculine, to show that the actions go from masculine to feminine, except for the blue ones. So as an example, you got 0, 1, 2, which sweeps from masculine to feminine, but then the action from the 1 to the 2 goes from feminine to masculine. It's birthing that way. Then same thing that, same thing that. And this is just the same thing, but upside down. And the jewel, see, the jewel, in this state right here, it's still sort of separated from divinity. And that's where we are as a species right now. Is basically the jewel of creation separated from divinity. We're alone, and that's the way the powers that be want it. They want us cut off from Kundalini. And this is also basically, see, I call this the jewel, and I just sort of called it that. I didn't really think about why I was calling that, other than because when you take off the bottom Sephiroth and you put a hexagon around it, it kind of looks like a jewel. That's why I did that. But it's funny, the name jewel. What is jewel? Jewel. And this is basically the god of the Jew. This is the material world. This is atheism. This is worshipping the material without any divinity. So we know El is a word for God, so Jew-El, that's basically what that is, the God of the Jew, the material world, but minus divinity. There's no room for the divine nature of being in the Jewish God's world, believe me. So then, once this fuses and becomes this, it transforms into this. And one note I want to make about this too, I explained earlier in the video how this becomes that, and how it compresses itself, and then this 9, basically this 9 doesn't become 0, this 9 stays right where it is, and the rest of these, everything else compresses down. And then that's what happens, because you're going to notice something. This 5 turns into a 4, as I explained, and this 6 turns into a 5, so that's showing the 4 below and the 5 on top of it. So when it forms this structure and nothing happens yet, it basically builds from the ground up, because that's what the 4 is telling you. So it's going to go 1, 2, 0, 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. And then the 9 is going to stay right where it is, up there. And that's what happens. And how do I know that's true? Well, because the upside down, the triangle that's facing downward, what would be the female shaped triangle, is red for masculine. Well, it's telling you that it basically turns itself over. Not only does, there's 4 structures here, okay? This structure starts out, you know, I'll just say straight up, you know. This starts out straight up, this inverts back onto itself upside down, hence the hanged man. Then it produces this structure, and then after it takes its transformation, it basically produces the Yggdrasil upside down. That's what it does. So that's what happens, you know. And so it's going, you know, up, down, up, down. Even that is alternating one way to the other. So it's really amazing. This series and this structure is really powerful. But yeah, I just wanted to show all this in one image. You know, I've been over all these details, so there was only a couple of new little bits in this. I just wanted to make a video that, so when I share other videos, you know, if I post and then if I get into arguments or people, you know, because this is new for everybody because it's new, basically, you know, and no one knows what's going on, and the people who worship Kabbalism as some kind of divine thing think it really is. You know, most of them think it is. Most of them think Kabbalism is fucking this greatest secret on earth. It's not. It's a big fucking lie. Because even the Kabbalists had to fix their own shit. Because their version of the tree of death and stagnation, they had to add something to it to make it believable. They had to add Ayin Sof above what they call Kether. And there's 3 levels of that. They had to add Ayin Sof, Ayin Sof, and Ayin Sof hour, or something like that. And that's basically a big, long, fancy way to say 0. And that's what we see on the true tree. You know, if you use the proper code, you don't need to add fucking bullshit like that. Because that is 0, and that acts as 0. It has a value of 0, and it fits right into the system. The true tree does it all. And then the jewel is created, and then it forms this. And then when it forms Yggdrasil, this is the holy divine child. This is a human body infused with the power of God, basically. This is what this is. This is a man who is fully illumined. This is a man that is acting in 100% congruency with the divine order of beauty, right? This is heaven on earth. This is all the analogies you could ever use for that. It's basically perfection is what that is. This is harmony, beauty, and perfection expressed in every possible way. It is. It's glorious. It's divine. The Yggdrasil. I can't believe how well that structure fits in with this, because it's sort of the missing link. You know, the Nordic world tree is the end result of all this Jewish Kabbalism. But see, I hate to even say that, because this, you know, none of this is Jewish Kabbalism, because Jewish Kabbalism is fucking wrong, basically. This is just taking the geometry that is the structure of the shape of that, you know, the tree of life, using the geometry of it, applying it to the single-digit code, and then you get all these things that work perfectly and seamlessly together. And this is what this is. So this is probably, I know I say this all the time, this has to be the end of the series. This must be the end of the series. The only thing that I'm going to do on top of this, but I have to get better technology to do that, is actually make a presentation from beginning to end as a presentation. Because this presentation, this series, was basically a learning process as I evolved with it. I mean, I was learning every step of the way. That's why this isn't just one video, and that's why it's now like 25, God knows how many videos this is. It's a lot though. But I kept learning and learning and learning and learning. I still keep learning. I mean, you know, like, so this is what this is. at the very least, this just presents all four of the tree forms in one. You know, you can call it the four horsemen of the apocalypse, or whatever you want. Make up any name you want. This is sort of like God. You know, I hate to use the Jewish name for God, but this. And as a matter of fact, I won't do that because the Jews pervert everything, and I'm not going to use their language in this divine expression here. You know, this is time. This is a time for, because this is it. This is basically Aryan, as far as we know. You know, this comes from, this is one of the lost secrets from a time that has been erased from history. You know, people say that human beings are a species with amnesia. Well, that is true, but it's deliberate amnesia. You know, we have been made to forget who we are. You know, and right now the world is being destroyed by these verminous psychopaths who have infected humanity with their vileness in every sense of the word. And thankfully, a lot of people are waking up now. A lot more people are waking up. We're starting to recognize the truth. We're starting to see what is happening and what they're doing to us. Every one of us knows that these politicians that are basically put in place by Jews are done so to destroy us. I mean, they're as evil as anything else. It doesn't matter what they are, you know. And you know, I think a lot of people are waking up, and it's time for us to take action. It's basically we got to reject that system entirely. That means, you know, taking action. You know, stop paying taxes. Stop consenting to the government's claim of ownership of you, because that's what you're doing when you do all that shit. You gotta take real action in this world, and just basically, you know, you gotta fight that system to death, because, you know, that's just the way it is. But thank you for watching, and namaste.